Hello, and welcome to Miss Hope's Reading Hour. We're back. We have books. So happy to be back on this very hot, marvelous Monday. It is hot outside, friends. So today in Philly, it is 94 degrees, but they said that 94 feels like 100. Can you believe it? So, friends, I'm so sorry. My screen looks really. Let's do that. Oh, look at that. What a good cleaning on a lens will do, okay? So, hello, everybody. I'm so glad to be back with you all today. Unfortunately, as I told you all, we were at the bottom of the barrel with books. So we did not have any more books, like literally no more books to read. Now, of course, there are some books, but I don't think that you would want me to read about snow or Christmas or Thanksgiving in June. So I did have a few books, but they were cold weather books. And I couldn't read those right now, okay? So I do have two books that are more in the season of what we should be reading. But I had very few of those cold weather books and needed to get some more. So when I put the word out, we had some Miss Hope reading our book angels. Oh, maybe that's what I will call all of you. When you donate, you are Miss Hope's reading our library book angels. Oh, just came up with something. I like it. Okay. So, our book angels who donated to Miss Hope's reading our library so that we could get some more books. Miss Kate McGrath, thank you so much for donating. She was also a guest reader for the 24-hour Read and Raise-a-thon. After I talk about the other book angels, got to tell you a little bit about that. Got some news. Okay. Also, Miss Denise Stoltzfus, one of the wonderful teachers at Martha Washington Academics Plus School, where I also work. She was a book angel. She was a book angel, okay? And Miss Tanya Amir was also a book angel and a guest reader on the Read and Raise Readathon. Thank you all so much for your generous donations that helped to buy the first shipment of new books, okay? So I will be making another order. I was going to make it this weekend, but as you all know, Miss Hope, though you all are on summer vacation, I'm on summer vacation from my job, which is in a school. I am not on vacation from being in school, okay? So I have assignments that I have to do and things that I need to finish before my next semester. So I did not get to make that order this weekend, the second order, but I will be making another order to get some more books, my friends. So just so you all see my shirt, I know you see Eat up here, but I am also a face painter, just so you all know. I'm also a face painter. And I had one of my friends who was also a guest reader, Lisa. I had her make me this shirt so that I can wear it during times when I'm face painting. So it says eat, sleep, paint, repeat. So yeah, usually in the summer, that's kind of what I'm doing. I'm just painting all over the place for festivals, parties and things like that. But I wanted to wear my face painting shirt today, okay? So hopefully my young ones, my older young ones, parent friends, teacher friends, parent teacher friends, hopefully you are enjoying your summer vacation so far. Hopefully you're going on some trips, having some fun, getting in pools and sprinklers and barbecues and toasting marshmallows, because that is kind of an all weather thing, okay? In the summer, you can make s'mores. Nothing wrong with those in the summertime, okay? So, hopefully, you're getting to do all those fun things, and hopefully, Miss Hope will be done with school so she can, get to do some of those fun things, okay? Um, but the news that I had about the Read and Raise 24-hour readathon. Now, remember, you guys, I said that I was waiting until we got to that $1,000 number. Well, my friends, I will be sending out those donations this week because we made it to the $1,000 number. We found that $290 to make it to 1,000. Thank you so much to everyone who donated again. Thank you to everyone who donated, everyone who tuned in for hours and hours, and every guest reader. Thank you so much for all that you did to make the first Read 24-hour Miss, let's get the name right. The first Miss Hope's Reading Hour 24-hour Read and Raise a Thon, a success for West Philadelphia Action for Early Learning, the Ronald McDonald House Charities, and Heifer International. Thank you all so much. Now, please do feel free to donate to the Miss Hope's Reading Hour Library, because if we're going to keep this thing going, there's people writing children's books every day. More coming out every year. So, we would like to have books to be able to share, okay? Because Miss Hope's Reading Hour, I want Miss Hope's Reading Hour to go on the road, okay? I want us to be able to share these wonderful books with people more than just online, okay? Now, my friends, let's do the two new books we will be reading today, okay? Our first book is called Palatero Man. Ooh, 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 look at all those tasty paletas. Look at all of them, okay? So this book is by Latin Grammy winner Lucky Diaz, illustrated by Micah Player. And if you want to hear a song about the Palatero Man, right here, you can listen to a live song about the book online if you buy this book, okay? So, The Palatero Man, our first book. And remember, I said in the teaser, we're going to be talking about things that keep you cool. So, a nice ice pop keeps you cool in the summertime. Being in the water, in the ocean, maybe doing some surfing will keep you cool too. So, this book is called Surfer Chick. Look at her. This book is by Christy Dempsey, illustrated by Henry Cole. Surfer Chick, okay? And of course, listen, we gotta find out more, because we've had a bit of a break. But even though we've had a break, we still have to get into what's going on with our Unteachables, okay? Gotta find out what's going on with them. We have some questions like, is Mr. Kermit ever going to become a good teacher? Are the Unteachables actually teachable? Will Mr. Kermit and Mrs. Fountain's mom ever reunite and meet up again? Questions, okay, questions. All right, so let us read Surfer Chick first. Surfer Chick by Christy Dempsey, illustrated by Henry Cole. All right, let's see who the publisher of this book is. Okay, so this is an Abrams Books for Young Readers book. Okay. Two Birds of a Feather. A chick and her dad lived by the shore in a radical pad. A legend in surfing, Chick's dad ruled the roost. Her dream was to learn every move he produced. I hatched on the beach, dude. This ocean's my turf. I swim like a duck. Will you teach me to surf? She's like, Dad, I want to learn all the things about surfing from you. So Chick and her dad bought a shiny new board. It was just the right size, in a pink Chick adored. It's like, I gotta have my pink board now. Chick climbed on her board to learn how to paddle. But what happened next was a foul-tempered battle. Yeah, that board wasn't agreeing with poor Chick. Dad floated with Chick and said, "You'll get the neck. Just pull with each wing from the front to the back." Now hop to your feet and stand up. But there's more. Steady yourself, then aim for the shore. Oh, you got to paddle on it and then pop yourself up. Chick practiced. Then, bummer. A breaker arose that ruffled her feathers and tangled her toes. Ooh, that had to be scary for the first time. It scrambled her focus and filled her with doubt, then slung her to shore in a colossal wipeout. Alone on the sand, Chick simply felt chicken. She rested on shore till her courage could thicken. Yeah, she was pretty messed up about that. Like, I don't know if I want to do this again. Oh, did I skip a page? No. Chick watched her dad surf. He was ripping along. His movements were righteous, so fearless and strong. I want to be like that. Bet you that's what she was saying. Chick copied Dad's moves and her consort. She took a deep breath, then snatched up her board. Chick scoped out the water to find the best wave. It swelled up behind her. She chose to be brave. Just a second, you guys. On a wing and a prayer, with a paddle and a splash, Chick popped up and shred toward the shore in a flash. She slid through the water with natural skill, then added a stunt, a one-footed thrill. Okay, I guess she is getting a little more confident. I knew you could do it, Dad crowed to his chick, and all on one foot. Can you teach me that trick? Oh, wow, a trick her dad didn't know? Nice. These days, when you pass by the shore near the roost, a gnarly new legend has been introduced. Nice. Like, hey, I'm here. She's fearless and plucky. She's stoked and she's quick. She's totally awesome. A real surfer chick. Oh, look at that attitude. She's like, oh yeah, I got it. The end. Nice. I like this story. This was cute. But it was good too because this summer, who knows? There might be some new things that you get to try to do. Some things that your parents know how to do or your older brothers or sisters know how. But you're like, I want to try it myself. And then when you try it at first, it can seem a little scary, okay? But then when you finally do it, you're like, oh, I can do this. I can do this. I remember one time here in, I think it was in New Jersey, at Clementon Park, they have this water slide that goes straight down. It goes straight down, and then and it's really high. And I was really scared. I went with the summer camp I worked for, and the kids and the parents were like, no, Miss Hope, you got to go down. And I was like, yeah, I got to go down the steps. They're like, no, the only way you're going down is through that tube. And I was like, no, I don't think I can do this anymore. I don't think so. And they were like, you got to do it. So I had to find my courage and do it. And so I stood in the little capsule, crossed my arms, and they said, 1, 2, 3, enjoy your ride. And the floor was opened up and I was down. And then almost as soon as I went down, ashing in the water, I was like, oh, and I did it. I don't know if I'll do it again, but found the courage and I did it. So sometimes it's going to be some things that you're going to try the first time. You might be a little scared, but there's people there who will encourage you and let you know you can do it. You're capable of doing it. Even if you're scared, if you're way too scared, maybe we'll give you another chance to do it another time, but we believe in you. We know you can do it. And that's exactly what Super Surfer Chick's dad did. Told her, I think you can do this. I'll give you the techniques, but I think you can do it. And guess what? She did. And then she stood there with that surfboard like, I am the new phenom of the surf, okay? Good book. I like this book. Great summer book. All right. So our next one, the Paletero Man. Okay, this one has a dust jacket. See, now I want like an icy or popsicle or something, because these do all look very appetizing. So look at all of them on the actual cover. So the dust jacket and it looks the same, but it's okay because this one looks delicious. Okay. All right, let's read The Paletero Man by Lucky Diaz. Let's see who the publisher. Oh, this is a Harper book, an imprint of Harper Collins Publishers. All right. In the hottest month, on the hottest day, in the city of dreamers, California, LA, I grab my dinero and make my way to find my friend Paletero Jose. He is like, I am ready, okay? Pushing his cart full of cool treats. Bailando, he dances to mariachi beats. He has dozens of flavors. I can already taste. Will he have my favorite? There's not a second to waste. Oh man, the times when you can taste it before you even get it. There's Tio Ernesto. He asks, tamale today? No, gracias, Tio. Where's Paletero Jose? Like, come on. Tamales are great, and they're really tasty. But I'm looking for a cool treat, man. Ring, ring, ring. Can you hear his call? Paletas for one, paletas for all. Look at him running. He's gotta get it. I gotta get to him. Un aroma is calling, caught in the breeze. It's a barbecue smell coming from Mrs. Lee's. Hola, querido. Would you like a sample today? No, gracias, señorita. Where's Paletero Jose? He's like, I gotta get to him. Uh-oh. He's losing some things. Let's look back at this picture. He's running, but he's losing some stuff. Can you see what he's losing? I see it. We'll find out later what it is. Ring, ring, ring. Can you hear his call? Paletas for one, paletas for all. The only way to beat this heat is with an icy cold paleta treat. Whew, he looks hot. I guess so. It's the hottest day of the year, and he's running to try to get those paletas. There's my friend from the bike shop. Lo siento, Frank. There's no time to stop. Now take a look at this picture. What is our friend losing while he's running? Can you see it? Ring, ring, ring. Can you hear his call? Paletas for one, paletas for all. I really do think after this I'm going to get icy. Oh, in the picture you can see what he was dropping. Will he have all the flavors, the colors I love? Horchata, canela, the kind I dream of? Chocolate, elote, sandía o fresa, arroz con leche, miel o cereza? Ring, ring. Can you hear his call? Paletas for one, paletas for all. Oh, he can taste it. You can tell all the food. Woo. Here he is, Palatero Jose. Finally, I'll get cool on this very hot day. Oye, niños, what will it be? Oh, he wants to know what flavors they want. Ooh, 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 ooh. I wonder if he has the flavor he's looking for. He has all my favorites. Can it be true? Chocolate, vanilla, y melon too? But today, I'd like piña, pineapple. Do you have that sabor? He smiles a big smile. Claro, para ti el mejor. I reach into my pocket to pay for my paleta. He's ready to pay. Mi dinero. My money. It's missing. It's lost. ¿A dónde se ha ido? What will I do? What can I say? How can I buy my paleta today? Oh, man. So close. And just at that moment, who do I see? My neighborhood friends, Frank and Miss Lee. We called out your name when we saw your coins drop, but you must not have heard us because you didn't stop. Muchas gracias, amigos. What would I have done? I guess I dropped my money when I was on the run. If you look close, you could see his dollars and coins on the ground while he was running. So he was like, I gotta get to those paletas. Kindness for all, shouts Palatero Jose. I have a surprise that will brighten your day. Oye, amigos, paletas on me. Because of your kindness, the paletas are free. Oh, nice. I was gonna pay, but now I get paletas for free. Whether it's stormy or whether it's sunny, whether or not you have any money, I'll always help out an amigo in need. Yo te prometo, an amigo indeed. In the hottest month, on the hottest day, we have fun in the sun with Palatero Jose. Ring, ring, ring. Can you hear his call? Paletas for one, paletas for all. Nice. Oh, I could go for one of those now. And pineapple is one of my favorite flavors. Author's note. The smell of street tacos, the vivid rainbow colors of vendor umbrellas, and the sounds of children choosing their favorite food from the Palatero cart on a Saturday afternoon. These are some of the sights and sounds of 8th Street in Los Angeles. My neighborhood, my home, and my inspiration for Palatero Man, the book and song. Spanning the neighborhoods from Koreatown to Boyle Heights, 8th Street has endless numbers of taquerias, K-Town barbecues, colorful murals, and vendor-lined streets. This historic stretch is also the birthplace of the immigrant street food vending culture in Los Angeles. Snack trips to the elotero cart, Mexican street corn, which I have not tasted yet, but I would love to taste because I love Mexican food. Visits to our friend selling tamales out of her cooler on the corner, and of course, weekend paletas in the park really shape lives and fill our stomachs. As a Mexican American and an Angelino, that's what you call people who live in Los Angeles. I've taken great pride and joy in writing and sharing this picture book with you. And as a Chicanx parent, being able to celebrate our vibrant culture and read this book with my daughter is really the most special experience of all. I hope you taste and imagine the fun of choosing your own refreshing paleta when reading Paletero Man. Buen provecho, Lucky Diaz, the author. Oh man! So, I'm going to tell you the truth, right? In talking about all of these flavors, Miss Hope has had to keep her mouth from watering because it is hot today in Philadelphia. In Philadelphia, we are known as Philadelphians, okay? And the thing that we really like is water ice. All different types of water ice, all different flavors, okay? But in Los Angeles, they have the paletero, which I would like to taste because they sound delicious. And they have so many pictures of them with fruit inside, coconut, which I wish I could eat, but I can't anymore because I'm allergic to it. Then they have lime one with the lime wedges in it. Man, I want to taste one. This is such an awesome book. Teaches about the culture, like Mexican culture and the different cultures in Los Angeles, and how friends help friends. And not just young friends helping young friends, but adult friends helping young friends too, okay? And how to pay it forward and lead by example and follow an example. So, in the story, all of the street vendors who knew our friend, they made sure, listen, we got to get his money back to him. So they're trying to follow him to get his money back to him. They get it back, and Paletero Jose says, wow, such a nice thing that they did to make sure that he got his money. I'm going to follow their act of kindness with an act of kindness of my own. Free paletas for everyone, which is a pretty nice act of kindness, don't you think? Well, this was such a great book. I want to read it again. And I want a cool treat when I'm done reading today, okay? So, such a great book and beautiful, colorful pictures. So glad I got to share that with you guys. And for our young ones, older young ones, who may want to learn some Spanish, a whole lot of Spanish in that book, okay? Well, friends, we must change our ambiance because you know we're about to read, okay? We are to these unteachables, all right? They can be kind of rough, but I think they might be sweet once we start really getting into the book, okay? Now, our last chapter that we read through was chapter 9. And in this chapter, oh yeah, in this chapter, this is when Mr. Kermit was arguing with the principal who did not want to let the Unteachables come to the pep rally. He's like, no, that's unfair. Let them come to the pep rally. He was too worried about what they would do there. So he said, sorry, they're out. But Kiana and who was it who was in the hallway with her? It was Kiana and let me see. Kiana and Parker. So Kiana and Parker heard her in the hallway fighting for them with the principal, saying it's not fair to exclude them and leave them out. They're a part of the school. So what if I don't like the vuvuzelas? Those big horns that people use in stadiums and things like that. So what if I don't like them? It's not about me. It's about my students. What? Is this the same guy who doesn't talk to the students when they come in and just give them worksheets? Now he's saying my students? He's fighting for them. So that is where we ended in the Unteachables. Now we are on chapter 10, coming back to Miss Kiana Rabini. Bad news from Utah. The equipment trailer got struck by lightning, so production on my mom's movie has been shut down for a couple weeks. Can't I come back home while you guys are waiting to start up again? I ask Mom over Skype. That wouldn't work, she tells me. What about school? How can we pull you out of Greenwich when you just got started and then re-enroll you once shooting resumes here? That would be too disruptive. I have to hold myself back from screaming, there's nothing to disrupt. I don't really go here. Jeez, Louise. Louise never registered me. I'm not even in a real class. Forget it. Mom would be on the phone to Dad in seconds flat. Never a pleasant convo. I'd be back in that office fast enough to make my head spin, registering for 8 classes instead of just 1. 8 new teachers to get used to, who give real assignments and real homework. No, my life here isn't perfect, but it's designed for maximum bearableness. Why get complicated? I'm a short timer, just not quite as short as I thought. 2 extra weeks in Greenwich, of Dad and Stepmonster, of Chauncey sniffling and fevers and rashes and barfs. 2 more weeks of in the Parmesan house. 2 more weeks of the Unteachables. Fine, I can handle it. I can do 2 more weeks standing on my head. Speaking of school, Mom goes on, how are you fitting in? I went there, back when it was the old Greenwich High. Great, I tell her. I've already gotten picked for a special program. Mom beams. Special. I knew she wouldn't be able to resist the idea of me being exceptional. I plow forward. It's called SCS 8. Really hard to get into. I should know. I'm not even really in it. The teacher's fantastic. He's super hands-on because he wants us to learn to work independently. Mr. Kermit believes. Kermit? She interrupts. You mean from the cheating scandal? Cheating scandal? Mom's brow furrows. It was an awfully long time ago, the early 90s. I remember I was away at college when it happened. But it must be the same person. Kermit isn't a very common name. I'm intrigued. What did Mr. Kermit do? I don't remember the details, but the whole town was up in arms about it. I'm surprised he's still teaching. It was a horrible black mark against him. Wow, Mr. Kermit has a past. The plot thickens. Mom adds, do you want me to call the school and get to the bottom of it? No, I blurt. I mean, Mr. Kermit is an awesome teacher now, and that's the main thing, right? Who cares what happened in the 90s? But Kiana, it was a cheating scandal. I don't want you mixed up in something like that. Relax, Mom, I assured her. I guarantee that there isn't any cheating going on in SCS 8. I can say that with total confidence because there isn't anything going on, period. Why would we bother to cheat when Mr. Kermit never even looks at the few papers he gets? Eventually, she agrees to let the subject drop. I end the Skype call, my mind racing. Suddenly, I've cracked a mystery that's been nagging me from the very first moment I followed Parker's schedule into room 117. Why would Mr. Kermit want to teach a class like the Unteachables? Answer: he doesn't. He gets a bad class every year because of what happened way back in the 90s. Seems a little crazy, but it seems a little crazy that he's still paying for a mistake from so long ago. But if Mom remembers, other people do too. Turns out SCS 8 isn't just a dumping ground for rejects of the school. The reject teachers wind up there too. So Mr. Kermit is famous. If Mom still remembers what he did way back when, that counts as fame. Okay, it was a bad thing, but so what? On reality TV shows, the biggest stars are always the jerks. Besides, cheating scandal or not, I can't forget how he spoke up for our class to Mr. Vargas and how he fought for Barnstorm's right to stay with the football team. He may not be much of a teacher, but I'm more convinced than ever that he's one of the good guys. I'm almost anxious to get to school the next day, and it isn't just because Chauncey is barking the house down with whooping cough. When I get to room 117, though, Mr. Kermit is absent. We have a substitute, Mrs. Landsman. Mr. Kermit's not exactly a young guy, but Mrs. Landsman is really old. Raheem does a quick sketch of her, rising from the grave as part of a zombie apocalypse. The kid is really talented. The picture makes the rounds of the class by paper airplane. Dawn of the Dead, hisses Mateo when the portrait lands on his desk. No talking, Mrs. Landsman orders. Too late, a nickname is born. She's Dawn of the Dead, Dawn for short. She's grouchy, but we should be used to that by now. Our regular teacher being a gold medalist at the Grouch Olympics. It feels different though. Dawn crabs at us, while Mr. Kermit just crabs because crabbing is his natural state. So when some of it lands on us, we don't take it personally. We just happen to be in the same room. Dawn is yammering about the Battle of Gettysburg when I hear a power hum, low but growing in volume. At first, I'm afraid the school is about to blow up. Then I realize the sound is coming from the desk next to me, Aldo. His face is almost as red as his hair as he devotes all of his breath to maintaining the sound. Now the hum is coming from behind me at a slightly different pitch. I risk a glance over my shoulder. Barnstorm doing it too, a look of unholy glee on his face. Next, the noise drops at least an octave. Elaine, buzzing like a bassoon. Well, we Californians know how to prank a sub as well as anybody, so I jump right in. Pretty soon, SCS 8 is vibrating. Alarmed, Dawn of the Dead puts a call in to the custodian. As soon as Mr. Carsters comes in, we stop humming. It was happening just a second ago, the substitute teacher insists. It sounded like a problem with the wiring. The custodian rakes us with a rueful look. It's the kids, ma'am. They're messing with you. They do it to all the subs. Dawn doesn't like that. For a minute there, I'm afraid we're going to have to. I'm afraid. Oh, excuse me. I'm afraid we're going to have a real zombie apocalypse on our hands. But in the end, what can she do besides yell? She does a whole lot of that. It's pretty jarring when you're used to Mr. Kermit, who barely speaks at all. We fight back. We do the old drop the textbook trick at least 20 times. Barnstorm drums with his crutches on the floor. Elaine pretends to be asleep, which is odd because Raheem stays awake and alert. Mateo speaks to the substitute in Dothraki and does all his written work in elves' runes. What? That's right. I said work. Dawn of the Dead is trying to run this like an actual class. Who does she think she is? Take out your math books, she announces. What math books? Barnstorm returns. Surely there are math books. Her frustration is growing. How do you study math? We do worksheets, Mateo supplies. What worksheets? I don't see any worksheets. There should be lesson plans. Of course there should, if we had a normal teacher. But Dawn of the Dead doesn't know Mr. Kermit. Maybe she thinks we ransacked the classroom before she arrived and threw out all the notes on how she was supposed to run the day. Whatever the reason, she's getting madder and madder. With no lesson plans to go by, Dawn finds a language arts paragraph in some random book, but then she chooses Parker to read it out loud. So obviously, he takes forever to sound out the first word. And because we've been giving her a hard time all day, she picks now to decide that somebody's yanking her chain, when Parker is the only one who isn't. So she sends him to the principal's office. 60 seconds later, we hear a pickup truck with a broken muffler start up and peel out of the parking lot. You know, he didn't do that on purpose, I tell Dawn. He has a reading problem, and he's sensitive about it. Miss Fountain comes over and tries to calm everybody down by inviting us for another circle time. Circle time? Dawn is outraged. These students are too old for circle time, and so are yours. Miss Fountain seems to be about to launch into her speech on how no one is too old for positive reinforcement. But then she takes a good look at Dawn of the Dead, who actually might be. She beats a hasty retreat to her own class. When the bell finally rings at 3:30, Dawn of the Dead tells us we're the most disrespectful class she's ever met in her long teaching career, and we should all be ashamed of ourselves. My son went to this school. He's a successful journalist today, and he'd be appalled to see what's become of the place that gave him his education. You students are a new low. I don't think you'd ever behave for Mr. Kermit the way you behaved today. As we listen to her sensible heels clicking down the hall, a strange quiet descends on room 117. Yeah, well, maybe Mr. Kermit isn't a cranky old bag like you, Aldo tosses after her when she's too far away to hear it. The thing is, she's right, Raheem muses, brow furrowed. We wouldn't have behaved that way for Ribbit. I wonder why. I could have answered that. Because even though Mr. Kermit kind of ignores us, he knows we're his class, and he sticks up for us when we need it. He likes us, in a way. And I'd never be able to explain it to the others. But I think, in our way, we might be starting to like him too. When Mr. Kermit enters room 117 the next morning, he's greeted by a sight he's never seen before. The seven of us, quiet and attentive, seated at our desks, hands folded, eyes front. Let's face it, There's no way Dawn of the Dead said anything good about us yesterday. This then is payback time, and none of us are looking forward to it. You can feel the tension in the air as we wait for our teacher to let us have it. Mr. Kermit sets his newspaper and coffee down on his desk and looks from face to face. What? Nobody answers. So he starts handing out the first worksheet of the day. The instant the paper hits our desks, there's a pen in every hand and all heads are down. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the teacher pull up short, frowning. This is another first. The entire class hard at work, no airplane circling overhead, no talking. He shrugs and returns to his desk, peering down at his crossword puzzle. I turn my attention to the assignment, which is about current events, and I think hard about what I've seen lately in the news, on the internet, and in social media. The intercom buzzes to life. Mr. Kermit, comes the voice of the secretary. Principal Vargas is available this morning if you'd like to discuss Mrs. Landsman's report on your students from yesterday. You can almost hear the jarring sound of a needle scratching across a vinyl record. We all freeze, staring up at our teacher. If Dawn of the Dead filed a report, you can bet she gave us a Z minus minus. No, Mr. Kermit replies. Thanks anyway. That gets our attention. Is Mr. Kermit so detached from reality that he doesn't think anything that happened yesterday was bad? Or is it that he never read Dawn's report, just like he never reads any of our work? The mood in room 117 lightened a little. Whatever the reason, it looks as if we might be off the hook. It occurs to me that maybe Mr. Kermit never reads our stuff because none of the Unteachables ever hand anything in worth reading. That's an easy fix. There's an essay question on the back of today's worksheet, and I make up my mind to knock it out of the park. The prompt is about mass transit, subways, buses, and light trail lines. I believe in that kind of thing, and I believe in that kind of thing anyway. I'm from LA, where our transit systems are a joke. And what do we get for it? Traffic jams and pollution. Pretty soon the entire page is full, and I'm only getting started. I approach Mr. Kermit's desk. Ribbit has pushed his puzzle aside. He's examining a memo from the office. I catch the heading, Report of Substitute Teacher, across the top. He notices me, and I search his eyes for any reaction to what has to be a horrible rundown of her day with a class of unteachable barbarians. Are you really mad at us? I ask in a small voice. He looks like the question never occurred to him. There are two sides to every story, he says finally. He reaches down and slides the report into the trash can. Is there something I can do for you? He adds, obviously wishing I would go away. Can I have more paper? His brow furrows. For what? My essay. I ran out of space. That causes kind of a stir in our class. In SCS 8, kids do too little work, never too much. Mr. Kermit backs into his puzzle now. It's almost as if he's hoping I'll forget what I asked for and leave him alone. So, can I have it? I persist. He looks blank. The paper? Yes, fine. Well, where is it? He gets up from his desk and surveys the room. And it's like he suddenly found himself in some strange exotic location, a place he's never seen before. He leads me to a storage closet and opens the door. Empty, except for the cobwebs. Maybe Miss Fountain has extra paper, I suggest. I'm on it. Parker bolts for the door so suddenly that he knocks over his desk and goes flying. He face plants on the floor, springs right back up, and disappears into the hall. The next thing we hear is Miss Fountain's voice from the next room. Parker, you're bleeding. He has a driver's license? Barnstorm sneers. The kid can barely walk. Parker's back a few minutes later, holding a wad of pink-stained paper towels to his bloody nose. He hands me a sheaf of lined paper, also pink-stained. I fill 4 full pages before I'm done with my essay, and I'm pretty satisfied with it. I know I'm just a short timer, but I can't let my work habits go totally down the drain while I'm here. I'm going to have to be ready on running when I get back to my real school in California. I march up to the front and hand my paper in to Mr. Kermit. He looks at me like I've just presented him with a plate of baby scorpions. It's my essay, I reply to the question he probably won't ask. I can't wait to hear what you think. He accepts the papers, places them on the corner of the desk, and goes back to his crossword. Aren't you going to read it? I press. Of course, he assures me without looking up. 3 days later, the pages still sit on the corner of the desk, untouched. Parker's blood spots are turning brown. Well, so now one of the students knows about the cheating scandal. I wonder if Kiana's going to tell anybody that she knows about the cheating scandal. And that might be why Mr. Kermit is the way that he is. I wonder if she'll talk to Miss Fountain, the younger Miss Fountain, about the cheating scandal and whether her mom knows about it. I wonder if Kermit is actually going to read her essay. I also wonder if at the moment, if Kiana's mom is like, okay, I'll let it go that Mr. Kermit is your teacher, or is she going to have a change of heart and say, I think maybe I need to call the school and get my daughter out of Mr. Kermit's class. But then her mom will find out she's not even registered. She's going to school for free. She's not even registered and she's in the wrong class. This is getting interesting. So we will find out on our wonderful Wednesday broadcast, my friends. I am so glad to be back with you all. So I'm also thinking about changing back to the summer hours that we had before, starting at 3 and not at 6. So if I do that, maybe I'll put a poll up and see what you guys think, okay? So once I do that, I will get your feedback. And if you want it to stay at 6 p.m., we'll keep it at 6. But if you want it to go back to the summer hours of 3 o'clock, then we'll go back to the summer hours of 3 o'clock and we'll broadcast then, okay? Well, this has been a wonderful Miss Hope's reading hour. I'm so glad we got some new books and I got to come back and read with you all. And I look forward to being with you again on our wonderful Wednesday broadcast, which will be a hot one as well. Okay. So until then, my friends, I will see you next time. Bye.